want you to think back to the 1950s. Television stations are just going on the air. Television is a very young medium. MATC, which was then known as the Milwaukee Vocational School, actually applied for a license for Channel 10 in the early 50s. It went through the courts because there was a battle about who would actually operate Channel 10. So the station did not go on the air till 1957. But throughout the 50s, we were training people to go into this new industry of television. And in fact, the students working at Milwaukee Vocational School were actually producing programs before Channel 10 went on the air. Those programs were airing on commercial television stations in the community. So the program was already underway, training professionals even before Channel 10 went on the air.
Milwaukee Area Technical College is at a real advantage by having a Milwaukee Public Television station that it owns and operates. It's unique because it goes back in the history of MATC and Milwaukee Public Television, and is not unlike other colleges across the country, not many, but similar to the fact that the advantage comes in the fact that you have television programs for students that programming and actual hands-on activities that really emulates the ideal agency studio environment. Students in the television program get hands-on with professionals, and it's in that environment that is actual studios producing work for MPTV, Milwaukee Public Television, and potentially PBS affiliates. But the real key is the real work experience. The idea of having the real labs, the real studios, the real agency environments, which here, as of a couple years ago, we call creative technologies within MATC. The college and the Milwaukee Public Television Collaborative also celebrates uniqueness of diversity. We have multiple programs that all support film, arts, media, and entertainment. Now, television and video production has been long-standing for that model that simulates this real-world work environment. Actual production is done, students' work airs on public television, and now we're adding other programs that actually integrate into the production of TV programming, which includes animation, design, photography, visual communications. Now it's even grown to computer simulation and gaming, and our music program. We've looked at programs that also are needed in real life. We're looking at future programming and audio engineering and production, which would bridge numerous programs together. And the need is there in industry for high-end audio production. The technology has changed and the skill sets are increasing. But a lot of this generates from the advantage, a key advantage in having Milwaukee Public Television station here in-house at MATC. This stems back to history. We've done projects before that have been seen throughout the community. It's helped launch our students into some great careers in studios, agencies, and different environments, including film. Collaborative projects as of late have included work on the virtual Milwaukee experience, Active Across America. We're doing an animated, real live action feature with Woody's World, which is being done through professionals working with students and faculty. We have our Student Ops Day, which is an annual event where students feature a lot of their work on television. Now it's going to be supported by animation work and music, audio bridged into that. So it really simulates not just working as a person behind the camera, but with writers, directors, producers, students getting a chance to experience all of these multimedia rich environments, again supporting film, arts, media, and entertainment. But it's the real production, the service, and the experience of deadlines, working with clients and the like that we're utilizing the model in television to grow in other areas.
When Channel 10 went on the air, the students were working on a variety of programs for Channel 10. A lot of children's programs in those early days. There's some iconic children's programs in the history of the station. The Wee Weekly and Children's Fair were two early programs that students worked on extensively. As television progressed and the station progressed, Channel 36 went on the air in 1963. And students working alongside professionals have been involved over those many decades in a variety of programs, taping performance programs of local arts groups, doing news and public affairs programs, documentaries, and certainly their own work as well. They work alongside professionals, but they also produce their own specials in workshop settings, and the famous Student Ops Day that we've had for a number of years, in which student works get displayed right alongside regular TV programs on Channel 36. But throughout this period, we have trained a lot of people who have gone on, started as students here, been successful, and have gone on to very successful careers in television and broadcasting, even some in the film industry in Hollywood. Producers, directors, writers, videographers, editors, all that coming through our program here. Well, a couple of years ago, we celebrated our 50th anniversary. It was a great time. We had people from all over the country that had worked at the station come back and celebrate with us. And our MC for the night is a very well-known broadcaster in Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin. He's a member of the Wisconsin Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Bob Barry, who, if you're a baby boomer, you know Bob's name. He was perhaps the best-known radio announcer, disc jockey in this community. But he actually got his start in broadcasting at the Milwaukee Vocational School, as it was known then, the TV and video production program at Milwaukee Vocational School at the time. Very well-known broadcaster, great guy, and he served as our host for that special event to celebrate our 50th anniversary. A lot of folks who have gone through the program are actually on our staff here at Milwaukee Public Television. I think we have about 20 graduates of our program who are right now on our staff as professionals, serving as producers and engineers and directors and videographers themselves. A fellow, Dwayne Rodriguez, great guy, one of our videographers, is one of our star pupils, one of our star graduates.
I always had an interest in television from when I was a little kid, you know, and not necessarily always from a programming standpoint. I was always interested in things that happened from behind the camera. So, you know, I wanted to find a good and I was very sports interested. You know, I was really interested in shooting sports, you know. I remember as a kid, me and my father, we'd watch the Olympics or baseball on weekends, and I just always thought it'd be a very cool thing, something that I wanted to try to do was to become, you know, a cameraman shooting sports. So what happened is I looked around, you know, for the best college available, and from a technical standpoint, being a technician, MATC is obviously, in my opinion, without question, the best, you know, because UW-Madison, UW-Milwaukee, Marquette is all more, you know, they're not technical schools, so you do run camera in that, but you really don't get a lot of hands-on experience with a lot of new equipment and cutting-edge technology. So that's why I came to MATC. And the program was great. It did everything that I wanted to do. My very first day as a first-year student in class, I was running, at that time, a studio camera. They let us work the studio cameras way back then. So I was like, man, this is what it's meant to be. And, you know, I went through the program, I graduated. While I was a first-year student, I applied for a job with the Milwaukee Brewers to shoot Major League Baseball with their video system, their scoreboard, and their cameras. So as a first-year student, I was running camera for a Major League Baseball team, and it just continued from there. A year after graduation, I was hired here at Channel 10. I'll never forget it. There was a staff guy from MATC. I was visiting my friends. I used to be the music director. The college here had a radio station. I was music director for the college radio station. And I came back to visit some of my guys, and I just happened to bump into a guy who worked here at the station. He said, Dwayne, there's going to be an opening, man. You should really, really apply. Because at that time, emphasis was on music and sports. We used to do a weekly sports show here. And I applied and I got the job.
Dwayne has covered 3 or 4 Olympics. He's won Emmy Awards for his participation in that. This year he was a videographer who worked on the Super Bowl. He's called on to work on professional sports events and other events throughout the country, and we're delighted to have him on our staff as well.
I just started doing freelancing, and I was doing more and more, and I kept being asked and kept being asked, and as long as I could fit it in with my schedule here at Channel 10, I did it. So at the time I did Milwaukee Brewers baseball, Bucks games, and then that grew because I did some freelance stuff with NBC as a utility. When they came back into this market, they were looking for camera guys, and somehow, I don't know how, I made an impression on them. They gave me a shot, and I knocked it down, and I did a lot of sports with, at that time, NBC. I did a lot of AFC football, so like the Packers are in the NFC, so if the Cincinnati Bengals came to Green Bay, NBC would do the game, and I would work with NBC. And then from there, they started traveling me. And then they've always been the home of the Olympics for quite a while. And I was fortunate enough to do 4 Olympics with them. And also with NBC, I did a lot of NBA back in the glory days of the NBA when Jordan was there. It was quite great. You know, they traveled me for playoffs and things like that. It was really, really good. Never did a finals, but did playoffs with NBC. And then when NBC lost their contract with professional football, CBS got it, and some of those NBC staff people slid over to CBS because their expertise was football. They slid over to CBS, and then they started doing football, and they brought a lot of the same crew that worked with NBC. So then that slid over to CBS, and then I've been doing pro football with CBS. I did 1 Super Bowl with NBC, and I've now done 3 Super Bowls with CBS. And it's been very, very good, very collaborative. It's been very challenging as a camera operator, you know. It's always been very good.
There's a cadre of graduates who work now in Hollywood, in the film industry, that learned editing techniques and script writing techniques in our program as well. So if you made a list of all the graduates, you'd find them at virtually every television station, certainly in Milwaukee and throughout the United States. And again, the program goes back to the mid-50s, so we're talking about decades of graduates who have done very well, have learned their craft, or at least started on their craft right here in this program. So we're very proud of them, and we think the program is a very good program for people who want to go into this industry because of that. Well, among all the divisions at Milwaukee Area Technical College, the TV and video production division is the smallest. Smaller than liberal arts, smaller than the business division. It's the smallest of the school. We have about 60 students each year who participate in the program, first years and second years. Many of the students go through the entire program, get their associate's degree program. Some students stay with us for 1 year, and some go and get professional careers before they get their diploma. But in any case, we think that the program is unique. It's important to this college. It is one of the best working programs within MATC. We have a great graduation rate, a great placement rate. People who go through this program have great success numerically in finding jobs in this field. It's a field that is still growing. There are many new platforms being introduced that rely on video, and we're doing our best to keep up with all those developments in the industry. We want this program to grow, and are always looking at opportunities to make it grow and to make it succeed. And we think it's very important to the community, and we're delighted to provide it to the community. An interesting aspect of this program is the integration of the professional side and the student side. Students work alongside with professionals, and in many ways. As a non-commercial station, we have many ways that we raise money for the station, independent reasons. We don't have commercials. We do underwriting, but we rely on pledge drives and auction as great revenue producers, so we can buy the programs that air all day long and all year long on all of our stations. And the students have become a very important part of that, integral to those fundraising activities. And if you believe, as we do, that public television is a very important part of the broadcasting landscape, that we offer programs that are different from those that you can find on cable networks and commercial TV stations, and we do believe that, then the student role in helping us to raise money to produce other programs, to produce programs themselves, and to acquire programs by their work on our fundraising activities, the student role is very critical in allowing the station to be as strong as it has been over the decades. And we are a very good public television station. We're a very good television station in providing a variety of educational and entertaining programs, both that students produce and both or ones that we produce professionally or acquire professionally. So these two worlds are very intertwined, the academic world and the professional world, in helping Milwaukee Public Television to do what it does, and it does uniquely in this community.
This is a very opportune time for young learners, and actually learners of all ages, to get involved in a media career. As you know, the television station was unique in being one of the first to go digital and offer the rich digital opportunities for the station. We were pioneers in a very unique way. But what that does is it opens doors not only in television but in animation, design, and other related careers, in communications, and everything rich with media. And as you know, today everything is animated, motivated by color and 2 and 3D and media-rich environments. Communications are electronic; they're everywhere.
Well, one thing that's quite interesting is that the television industry and the video industry really has changed a lot over these 5 decades. And we've tried to have this program move along, in fact, be ahead of the curve of the television industry. It's not always been possible with the finances that we have, but we have tried to make that happen over the last few years. The program changed from a black and white program in the 60s to a color program as television moved from black and white to color. And of course, the last decade, just moving the entire industry, the entire television industry, from the old analog format to digital. We were very lucky. We made a commitment early on in this program to acquire digital equipment and go to digital transmission before many of the commercial television stations did in town. So our students began early on working alongside professionals who were working on digital and HD equipment, and they had those experiences. And excuse me, as a result, our students were in a good position as digital jobs came along, or the commercial stations did start using digital equipment to be ahead of the curve. What will happen in the next few years, the next decade? Uncertain. Of course, the use of the internet as another platform has become very widespread, very ubiquitous. And now when we produce programs, it's important that we also get the programs not only on television, but on the internet as well, which we are doing. And we are now streaming student productions on the internet and archiving them on the internet, which is something new. I think the thing that we will have to look at, not only in the academic side for the student program, but also on the professional side, is mobile video. The entire industry is turning more and more to use of mobile devices, smartphones, iPhones. And the radio industry, most radio stations, are now on iPhones or smartphones. Television has been a little slower to move to that. There are a number of reasons why. including rights issues. But that is, I think, the next frontier. We will be producing not only for traditional television and broadcast, but the merging of internet, web, mobile with traditional broadcast, I think, is something that is going to happen and something that we need to be on top of. Whether that will affect in a great way the content and how things are produced, I'm not sure about that. We'll have to see. The industry is changing. It's changing as we watch, and it's our job as educators and our job as professionals to stay on top of that, and that's what we're trying to do. No one else operates like Milwaukee Public Television in this community, and we're very proud of what we have accomplished over the years through the help of the academic program and the students who have participated in the program.
Ideally, the experience of learning at MATC and at the television station, and going from the learning life to education, or from education to industry, almost becomes transparent. A goal for us will be to recruit and get more students that would like to continue a career in some of these very exciting, creative environments. The job market is good. There is there's more availability in some of these areas that are cutting edge technology, because MATC and Milwaukee Public Television pride themselves in staying current and staying on that cutting edge. So you're not getting a lecture and a lot of tests. You're getting tests, but it's in a different kind of way. It's preparing you with portfolios to go out there and actually demonstrate to industry you're ready to go to work in that workforce. And we will continue to motivate and get more people excited about careers here. We know that Milwaukee is rich in students that are very socially involved, communicating well, and they also have an artistic flair. It's a good time to grow our creative economy here in Wisconsin, and the connection between MATC and Milwaukee Public Television lends itself well to bridge those students to some very valuable and rewarding careers.
When I was a kid going to school in this program, I shouldn't say kid, but when I was in my 20s going to college here, you know, everybody has their dreams, you know, and they want to try to achieve those dreams. And I can tell you, man, your dreams are obtainable. You can get them, because trust me, if I can get them, anybody can get them. And two of the things that were my dreams, I wanted to do a Super Bowl and I wanted to do an Olympic, and I thought those were the farthest things that I could ever possibly get to. Sure enough, man, I've got to them, you know, and it's really good. But it's because of the program. It's, you know, the college here, the staff here, you know, the instructors, you know, Kevin Pulse, Glenn Riley, man, they are huge. When I was a student here, Ev O'Hare, who was our first year instructor, was extremely influential on me staying in this profession. And Dave Ball as well, who was the second year instructor, they were just great guys. And the great thing about this college and the program here is, you know, we work in television. You know, there's a lot of educational institutions where there's a lot of old guys sitting behind desks who haven't worked in the profession at all, and they're trying to teach you how to stay current and what to do. That's not the case here. This is a working TV station. We're on the cutting edge of technology. Students here, they get to learn from some of the best in the city, without question. They have their hand. They can learn as much as they want. They put limits on themselves, not us. Students limit themselves on how much they want to try to achieve. Lazy students don't learn very much, but very aggressive students, they can learn everything that they want about this business in their short time here.
We're very proud of the program here. We think it's kind of unique in this part of the country for students to be working on real television programs that are aired on a real TV station, rather than just working in a student setting. But they're required to live up to professional standards in their conduct, as well as the content they're producing. It's got to live up to those standards, and that's another reason why we think the program is a very good one, has merit, and has worked very well for a lot of students over the years.
It's great working with students. you know, it seems, you know, I've been here for over 20 years, and, you know, I relate to the students more than anyone else, even more to the staff here. I relate to the students because I know how important this program is, what it can be for people, and in some small way, if I can help them achieve their goals and dreams, it's good.